चांद सी महबूबा हो मेरी, कब ऐसा मैंने सोचा था। हाँ तुम बिल्कुल ऐसी हो जैसा मैंने सोचा था. So today we are talking about moon, and if you know clearly and deeply about moon, nobody will ever compare your love with moon. Okay, चांद सी महबूबा नहीं होनी चाहिए. So what was moon? Okay, how did moon came into the existence, and what is the story behind moon? How does moon affect your astrology, and what is the moon lord mainly performing? Okay, what are the duties? So first of all, let's talk about the birth of the moon lord. Okay, there are 2 to 3 different topics and 2 to 3 different stories behind the birth of moon lord. In first story, it is like that moon was born from the ocean of milk. Okay, in few Purans it is said that he was born from the ocean of milk, and as soon as he was born, he was having that radiance and luminosity in it. So all the devas, they were like, oh wow, this is so radiant, let's give a stand to the moon, into the universe. But just because it was a part of earth, the moon was not given a part in the planet itself, but it kept revolving around the earth. But that is mentioned in some of the Purans, but that Purans are not, I don't consider every Puran a legitimate Puran, because some Purans are prospectively written from the Vedas. Okay, so those prospective written Purans are something that is the vision of one person. Okay, so another story of moon is like, let's say the moon was the son of Anusuya and Atri. Okay, so Atri was one of the Saptarishis, and what happened was that one time there was there's kind of 2 divisions in this story. Okay, some people say this, some people say that. So the basic division is that Anusuya was a very devoted wife to Atri, and the Narad Muni, who always wanders around the earth because he got the curse of living forever. Okay, but he is most intelligent person in the Vedic scriptures. He got a good blessing in form of curse, because he knew that getting a blessing of immortality is impossible. Okay, so what he did, he got a curse of immortality. Smart, So what happened, he keeps wandering here and there, and one time there was a discussion going on where the 3 Deviyas, the wives of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, they were discussing about who was the best or ideal wife. Okay, and everybody asked Narad, because Narad keeps on wandering here and there. Okay, so you tell me who is good, who is bad. So now Narad was in trouble, because his main agenda is that to keep all the 3 lords and all the 3 goddesses happy, so that he could get all the benefits from everyone. Okay, so now how to keep them all happy if he would choose one name? So he said that, even though all 3 of them are devoted, he chose the name of another 4th lady who was as devoted as everyone else. Okay, and she was Anusuya, the wife of one of the Saptarishis. And what happened next was that the goddesses couldn't believe that yes, there is someone in the earth, or say this lok, who is more devoted than them. So they tried to test them. Okay, so this is the first story. Another story is that the gods wanted to test her. Okay, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they wanted to test her whether she is really that much devoted or not. So in this version, the goddesses sends all three of the gods in the form of handsome rishis. In the second version, gods themselves go. Okay, so check out, let's check out. Is she really that devoted or not? So then they go to Anusuya and in the form of handsome rishis. Okay, totally like adorable and what you say, with a great appeal. Okay, and a majestic vibe as always. So what happened now was Anusuya was in a test and Atri and Anusuya both said when the three rishis came in, they were the three lords. And they asked, here also there are two parts. Okay, in one part Atri was present in there, and in the second part Atri was not present in the home. Okay, in the first part Atri was present in the home. They came and they asked that they want to take some meal from them, but they only accept a meal from a naked woman. Okay, so this is one part. In the second part, Atri was not there. Okay, by second part I mean in the second type of stories. Okay, so his husband wasn't there, and the three gods asked Anusuya that we need a place to sleep. Okay, because it's night and we don't have a place to sleep. So she was like that, I can't allow three handsome people to sleep at my home. Okay, because that is against the devotion of me to my husband. Okay. Similarly, in the first version, Atri was shocked that why are they asking such a demand that only a naked woman can serve them food. Okay. So in that also Anusuya was like, this is a hard thing. Okay. So what happened? In both the version, Anusuya found out a way. She immediately agreed, okay, yes, okay, cool, I'll do what you say. And Anusuya prayed to the universe. She prayed that if my devotion is true to my husband, all the three handsome hunks would be converted into small babies. Okay, so suddenly all three lords became babies, okay, small babies. And Anusuya gave them food, let them sleep for a night. But now they cannot be again lords because it was Anusuya who made them babies. So what happened that Narada again went to the three goddesses. Okay, and he said that, oh my God, there is an issue. She is really very devoted. And the universe took her side. Universe said that universe made all the three lords like babies. Now you have to request her that please, this was your test and you passed the test. Please make our husbands as before. Okay, the big version. So all the three goddesses goes again to the Anusuya and tells them everything that this was a test and they wanted to know whether they are equally devoted or more devoted, and you have passed the test. So now please make our husbands big. Okay. So after this instance, all the gods became big again and they gave them a boon. They gave them a blessing. Okay. They said, we three will give you 3 blessings. Ask what you want. So she said that I want that my son should be always present on this earth. The earth would always need my son, and my son would always have a part on this earth till Chirkal, means till the earth ends. Okay. So 3 lords give them 3 sons. Okay. The son of Mahadev was Durvasa. the son of Vishnu was Dattatreya, and the son of Brahma was Chandra, or the moon lord. Okay, so this is one of the story and the typical story of the birth of moon. Okay, so this is how moon lord was born. Okay, and if you see all these three people have a very big part in universe. When all the three lords are absent, on that instance, Lord Dattatreya handles the world. Okay, in the absence of sun, moon and Mercury, Lord Dattatreya handles the world. And if you see, Durvasa is an angry person, but it is said that if he curses or gives the blessing, anything that comes out from his mouth is true, becomes truth. Okay. Once Durvasa cursed all the three lords that your wives will become totally devoid of samruddhi, that is prosperity. Okay, so the wife of Shiva, Vishnu and Saraswati became devoid of prosperity because that Indra did something wrong. Okay, that's a very long story that he again embarrassed Lord Shiva, who was eventually the father of Durvasa. But so see, the first son Durvasa was also having such a power. Dattatreya is also having such a power. And the third son was moon, Chandra. So this is how the Chandra was born. Okay, so Chandra is something who was said the most handsome person. He was like, he had all types of creativity. He had a lot of art. Okay, he had like that charm inside them. Okay, so Chandra was a person with charm. Okay. Now what happened as he grew elder and elder? One time before his marriage, okay, I will come to his marriage afterward. Let's talk about something before his marriage. Before his marriage, he was given a sthan, okay, a place in the Devlok with Indra. Okay, because he was having all these kind of boons. Indra always liked people with boons, and he wants that all the people with boons should be with me. So I will be on the throne. Okay, so he asked Chandra that, come on, join my kingdom. Okay, be on the heaven, be on the boat. So what happened is Chandra came to the abode, and it is said that first moon was not rotating on the earth, it was still. Okay, so this is the time when moon was still, it was having the full glow. Okay, there was a full moon every time, all day, 365 days completely. And there was the another side of earth which is totally dark, and one side of the earth which was totally bright. Okay, in some scriptures it is also said that when the moon was still, the one side of the earth which had the moon was a place where devas were born. Okay, and another part where moon wasn't there was the place where asuras were born. Okay, so half of the earth was dark at night, half of the earth was bright at night. Okay, it is said that before many years when the moon was there, moon was still. Okay, then something came and moon started rotating around the earth, and due to the gravitational field it kept on rotating, and it is still rotating. Okay, in astrophysics it is said that the moon is not perfectly rotating. Okay, but it is going in spiral ways, one spiral up and one spiral down, then one spiral up and one spiral down, then one spiral up and one spiral down. So there is a small amount of up and down, a variation. Okay, so we'll come to that when I'm going to explain the waxing and waning process, but just consider that it is not moving like this, it is going one spiral up and one spiral down. one spiral up and one spiral down. And just because it is a very less distance, people don't feel it and they think moon is just revolving. But if you go into astrophysics deeply, moon is having a dual spiral motion. એક ચકેડું ઉપર એક ચકેડું નીચે, એક ચકેડું ઉપર એક ચકેડું નીચે, આવી રીતે ફરે છે. Okay. So what happened was, one time Chandra decided that he wanted to become more beautiful, okay, more charming. He wanted all the arts in the world and everything. So he asked to do the Rajasuya Yagna. It's a very big yagna where yagna is sacrifice. Okay, he sacrifices his energy into the fire. The fire gives the energy outside, and when the energy is given outside, the universe again gives the multiplied energy to you. That is yagna. So Chandra decided to do Rajasuya Yagna, okay, to increase his beauty, increase the power, increase the charm, his creativity, everything. He wanted to just rise above. Okay, and he asked Brihaspati, that is Jupiter, to come and do Homa in the yagna. Homa is giving sacrifice, Ahuti. Okay, give your energy also with me, he was asking. Okay. So what happened was, Jupiter wasn't present and he had given a word to somebody else. He had to go there. So Jupiter sent his consort, his wife Tara, to the yagna. And in the midst of the yagna, Chandra started becoming more handsome, charming. Okay, he started increasing his Venusian energy. He started getting all the energies around him. He got all this attractive vibes. Okay, so everyone in the about the heavenly loke of Indra, okay, Devlok, all the apsaras, all the beautiful girls were getting attracted and pulled to him. Okay, so everybody was pulling to him. Okay, everybody got pulled towards him. Everybody, I mean all the beautiful girls. Okay, because moon was increasing his charm through the yagna. Yagna gave more and more beauty and attractiveness to the moon. Okay, so all the apsaras were getting attracted towards him. And there was a time that not only all the apsaras, even the wife of Jupiter, that is Tara, got attracted towards him. Okay, and when the wife of Tara returned to the Devlok, returned to the Jupiter, his husband, she was pregnant. Okay, and Jupiter was ferocious, like, whose baby, who the hell did this? Okay, and why did you do this? And he was like so much angry. So Tara said that it was the moon lord and all this thing happened because he was like enriching more and more of energy, and all the apsaras were pulled towards him, and even I got pulled towards him, and everything happened. So the problem was that Jupiter was ferocious. So Jupiter gave a curse to Tara that the child who is going to born out from the womb would neither be male or nor be female. Okay, he would be androgynous. Not a male as not a female as. Okay. So the child who was born out from the womb was Mercury, Buddh. And that is why Buddh is neither male neither female. Okay. So Buddh was having that curse that he would neither be male and neither be female. And this was the story that, see, what Chandra did before his marriage. So before his marriage, he had one son, and that son was Mercury. Okay, and that is why Mercury doesn't like all these materialistic needs, all the lust and everything. Mercury hates lust, first of all. Mercury is something that is going to control your lust. If you are going to wear Mercury, you would control your lust, you would control your feelings, because he went into the sadhana, because he knew that, see, all this lust and everything is going to create chaos. Okay, so Mercury is someone who doesn't like lust and everything. So he is a significator of soul, spiritual progress and everything. Getting my point? I will talk about Mercury in the Mercury's video. Right now we are in the Moon's video. So Moon had one child before his marriage, first of all, and that was a child which was like illegal child. Third thing, Moon did not respect Jupiter or his guru's wife. Okay, so he has this ill eyes. Okay, Moon ni nazar bહુ ખરાબ હોય, ચંદ્ર જેનો બહુ ઊંચો એની નજર ખરાબ હોય. Okay, so it is again said that stay away from the moon, moon's eyes. Okay. Fourth, Moon cannot control his lust. Okay, so on the full moon, people with higher moon are always going to have such lust problems. Okay, and if it's with Jupiter, it is going to give you certain. Okay, and let's go somewhere ahead. Is that Moon is like, what do you say? See, let's study the how this Moon got the phases. Okay, because that's important to know ahead. So afterwards, the Daksh, the son of Brahma, had 27 daughters. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous video, Brahma gave birth to a masculine person Daksh and a feminine female Prastuti, and both of them gave children. Okay, so they had 27 girls. Okay, and those 27 girls are 27 nakshatras. Okay, and he went to Chandra when they were elder. Okay, when they got young. So he went to Chandra and said that, okay, marry my daughters, but you always have to give equal love to all my 27 daughters. You don't have to be biased. Okay, so Chandra said that, wow, you thought it cool. Okay, that's cool to have 27 wives, but he didn't knew that it is also as much as difficult to love every wife, that is 27 of your wives, equally. So what happened is, he married to 27 daughters, and those 27 daughters are 27 nakshatras: Ashwini, Rohini, Bharini, Kritika, Mrigashira, Magh. Okay, then all the 27 nakshatras: Jyeshtha, Uttarashada, Purvashada. Okay, so all the 27 nakshatras are 27 daughters of Daksh who got married to Moon. Now Moon encircles. Okay, now how did this happen? Afterwards, Moon was biased towards Rohini, the third daughter of Daksh. So Moon always loved Rohini very much and was biased towards her. So okay, he gave less love to everyone else and more love to Rohini. Okay, watching this, everyone else used to get jealous. And the eldest, that is the Jyeshtha went to Daksh and complained about this. Dad, this is wrong. You made us marry a guy who is just giving all of our love to Rohini, and we are like, phew, he is not loving us. He is just loving Rohini. And what's our fault? We are still his wives. So what happened is, afterwards, Daksh gave one more chance. Okay, see, you have to take care of all my daughters equally. This is not fair. Jyeshtha complained me. I will make sure that this complaint shouldn't come again. Okay, but Moon did not understand. Moon thought it is okay. What can he do? Okay, so again and again, after 2 to 3 daughters came again to Daksh and complained that, Dad, this person is not loving us like he loves Rohini, and he is being biased towards Rohini. So Daksh got angry and he said that, okay, I am cursing you, that you are going to have Akshay Rog. Okay, it means you will have 6 diseases in your body because you are not giving equal love to my all daughters. Okay, and you will die. You will die of the Akshay Rog. Okay. And I don't know, Kshay Rog is something related to paralysis. Okay. He was paralyzed, his half of the body was paralyzed. Right. Like this half. Not this half or this half. This half. Below half. And it was very troublesome time. Okay. So like devas and everyone was like nobody can do anything. At this point of time, somebody said that go and pray to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva can save you. So he prayed to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva came. And he told, dude, that's your own fault. You are biased. And Chandra apologized and he said that okay, it was my fault. I was biased. Now I won't be biased. I will spend equal amount of time with every daughter of Daksh. But I need one chance. What can I do? So what happened is Lord Shiva said, okay, I can't remove your curse. Okay. In the curse it was also said that he would lose his energy day by day, day by day, day by day, and on the 15th day he would lose all his energy. Okay. So Lord Shiva said that dude, it is your mistake. I am not gonna take your mistake away. You did it, you did your mistake and you have to suffer your mistake. Okay, that's your punishment. So he said, but okay, you worship me, you realize your mistake, you are promising for change. So I am giving you a chance. You would lose your energies every 15 days, but after 15 days you will again gain your energies for the next 15 days. Okay. In the next 15 days you will again lose your energies, and in the next 15 days you will again gain your energies. Okay. And the cycle is going to repeat again and again and again. Okay. So you will lose your energy for 15 days, then you will gain your energy for 15 days. Then you will lose your energy for 15 days, then again you will gain your energy for 15 days. So this is how the moon went into phases. Okay, so now moon is in phases and moon rotates around the earth and in phases. But the crescent moon, okay, the small moon was again the reminder to the moon about his mistake and punishment. So moon was like that, hey, this is continuously reminding me about who I am, and this I am becoming this every now and then, okay, and I can't handle that I am becoming this. So sun said, okay, so Shiva said, okay, I will take you and keep you on my head, okay, just to give you equal amount of respect. I will give you your respect back. Okay, and it is also a sign of Shiva that he always he is with you in your bad times also. Okay, he is the one and only God who is going to be with you in your bad time and help you in your bad time. All other lords will leave you into your karmic debts, into your karmic faults, and you have to suffer all your karmas and everything, and then you have to go ahead. There is only one God who would stay by you when you are in your depth when you are in your lowest, that is Shiva. He will help you. Okay, but only when you are truly apologetic and you have changed. Okay, so that crescent moon is also a sign of change. The moon is continuously changing. Until and unless you bring a change in yourself, Shiva won't help you. Shiva will only help you when you promise a change and show him that I have changed. If you repeat the mistake again and again and again and again in your life, if you bring people back again and again and again, if you throw them out again and again and again, if you repeat the same mistake again and then, Shiva is not going to help you. Okay, don't think that he can't understand. He would test you. He would bring same instances, same situations back in your life and see if you are doing the same old mistake. If you do the same old mistake, he would go away. That you are still not changed. But if you don't do the same old mistake, he will be with you. Okay, that is why the crescent moon is there on his head. If you change, he will be with that. Okay, so moon is again a reminder of change. Okay, so in whichever house the moon is placed, that house becomes the greatest significator of change in your life. Okay, if your moon is present in the first house, your body needs to change. You have to change your sleeping pattern, you have to change your eating pattern, you have to change your sleeping habits. Okay, you have to change everything regards your body. If your moon is present in the fourth house, you have to change your family environment. You have to change your behavior and mindset towards your family again and again and again. Okay, because the moon is the significant of change. In whichever house moon is sitting, it will bring you change in that house. Okay, wherever your moon is there. Okay, so again, moon is the significator of change. Moon is also the significator of your mistakes and punishments. Okay, your karmic debts and karmic faults. Okay, it is a constant reminder that this is the mistake you did, and in this life you shouldn't do the same mistake. Third thing, moon is asking. See, moon got a punishment because he was biased. So, whichever house the moon is there, you have to be completely unbiased towards that house. You can't be biased towards one particular thing. Okay, if you be biased towards one particular thing, you would have a bad consequences out of that house. So that is fixed. So the next thing you can see is that what does moon signify as? One more thing. Moon signifies your mood and moodiness. Just like moon goes and comes in phases, your life you would have different moods. Okay. So moon always also signifies your moods. When the moon is high, your mood is high. Your mood is this. Your mood is that. When the moon is low, your mood is high and your mood is low. Okay, if your moon is not in a good place, it is debilitated. Okay, then when the moon is not there, at that time your mood is going to get higher, and when the moon is there, your mood is going to go down. Okay, so if you have a higher moon, okay, it means that you are very sensitive to change and you are a very moody person. If you have a lower moon, okay, then you are not a moody person. Okay, also if moon is present in the earth sign, okay, it is the firm position. Okay, let's see, where is moon exalted? Moon is exalted in Taurus. Taurus is an earthly sign. Okay, so earth and bull is something that is firm. Okay, so only a firm person can handle moon. Okay, so moon is exalted in Taurus because a firm person can handle moon. Okay, where is moon debilitated? Moon is debilitated in Pisces. Pisces is an emotionally unstable person. Okay, so if the person is emotionally unstable, the moon is also going to be unstable because it is only moody. So the moody person is going to be more unstable. Okay, that's why moon is debilitated in Pisces and exalted in Taurus. So if moon is in Taurus, that means you have a complete control over your mind. Okay, but if the moon is in Pisces, your mood is controlling your mind. Okay, and you are a very moody person. Okay, but you again you have to see the position of moon in Navamsha also. Okay, because Navamsha is the fruit of your actions. Okay, so your actions and the fruit of your actions, you have to compare D1 and D10 chart. We'll go to the chart later on. Okay, so this was the story of moon. There is one more story. Okay, there is one more story in Vishnu Puran that moon was cursed by Lord Ganesh. Again, as I said earlier, moon has a very bad eye. Okay, moon ni nazar bau kharab chhe. Moon also slept with his guru's wife. Okay, so moon had to get punishment in one or the another way. So later on, what happened that Lord Ganesh was eating something or doing something or just walking by, and moon said that, look, how do you look? This great body of human with big stomach and big trunk with a small sitting on a small mouse. How do you look? And he started laughing. So Ganesh was very angry. But moon there was no fault of moon. Okay, moon is moody. And that was the mood of the moon where he was in fun mood. Okay, he was kidding. But Ganesh got angry that, oh my god, how dare you say this to me? So Ganesh cursed him. Okay, you are telling that I am weird. Okay, so everybody will call you weird. You know, everyone who would be looking at you, okay, they would be accused falsely in their life. Everyone who would stare at moon would be falsely accused in their life. So moon again got problematic. Oh my god, what did I do in my moodiness? Okay, I got moody and I couldn't handle my mood and I did some blunders. Now what should I do? So he went to Shiva. Shiva said that, see, I can't interfere in this matter because Parvati loves Ganesh very much. If I didn't respect Ganesh's curse, Parvati would be angry with me. So dude, don't come to me. This is your mistake. Okay. So again, moon went to Parvati. Parvati said, oh my god, but how dare you call my son a weird? Okay, so he said that I was joking and everything else, but Parvati said, okay, see, I can't do anything. You go to Kartikeya if you can help. So Kartikeya heard this and understood, because Kartikeya is the lord of spiritual teachings. Okay, he is the only son with having a spiritual mind. Okay, the greatest spiritual preacher is Kartikeya. So Kartikeya understood that, okay, see, the moon was in the phase of funny mood, and the funny moon harassed. Okay, he didn't harass, but at that time Ganesh wasn't in a good mood, and the funny moon said something to the Ganesh in his bad mood, and Ganesh cursed. Okay, so he said that, okay, he understood that this is not the fault of neither one, but the fault of situation. So he tried to console Ganesh and say that, Lens bro, come on dude, please forgive this moon. Why? શું કામ તારે ખોટી ખોટી હળી કરવી છે? થઈ ગયું, કહેવાય ગયું, મસ્તી કરતો, તારે એની વાત શું કામ લેવી છે? આપણે કોણ નહીં કોણ. Okay, so Ganesh said that, see, I can't take my curse back. If I take it one time, I have to take it in future also. So I won't take my curse back. Okay. But I can modify my curse. Okay. So he modified his curse and he said that, okay, anyone who would look at you on Chaturthi, Ganesh Chaturthi, okay, the moon, he would be falsely accused. He would be having troubles in life. He would speak things and his mind out when he shouldn't. Okay, so nobody is going to look at the moon at Ganesh Chaturthi. Okay. That is some significance in our scriptures. Okay. So this was some another story. That is why the fourth phase of moon is said inauspicious. But again, it is blessed by Lord Ganesh that it is going to remove all your obstacles. Because the fourth phase of moon is the ill nazar of moon. Okay. ચોથના જે ચાંદુ આવે ને એ ખરાબ નજરે જોવે બધી વસ્તુ, એ નજર બગાડે. So it is also advised that never start a relationship on fourth phase of moon. If you see any girl in the fourth phase of moon, please don't look at it with a bad eye towards her. Okay, it is going to destroy your life. Okay, so stay indoor in the fourth phase of moon. Don't like see things in with a bad ill nazar. Okay, and keep your mind clean. That's why people do fast on Chaturthis. Okay, to keep their mind clean. I said in the last video, what you eat is how you think. Okay, so on that day you don't eat wrong things. You eat good sattvic food. Okay, so that's why on that day you would have that sattvic mindset. Okay, and one more thing I would add. See, in the starting of the video I said that moon is not just rotating, but moon is going one spiral up and one spiral down. Okay, so one spiral is going up, then again one spiral is going down. One spiral is going up, and again one spiral is going down. So if you see clearly, here is the earth. When the moon is going into the full moon, the moon is going a bit up. And when the moon is going into the new moon. Okay, the moon is going a bit down. Okay, એક ચકેડું ઉપર એક ચકેડું નીચે, એક ચકેડું ઉપર એક ચકેડું નીચે. બહુ જાજો ફેર નથી ઉપર નીચે ને એટલે ખબર નથી પડતી. અધરવાઇઝ ઇટ ઇઝ small portion up, small portion down. Consider this pen as earth. Okay, so moon is not rotating like this. Okay, moon is rotating like this, one down, one up, one down, one up, one down, one up. Okay, this is a small portion going up and down. Okay, so whenever the moon is going up, okay, it is going into the higher phase. Okay, at that time people would be spiritually inclined. Okay, your spiritual progress is getting higher and higher. Okay, why is that so? It is pulling you up towards the Akash Tattva, okay, towards the Brahmalok. And when moon is going down, it is pulling you downwards to the Patal Lok, the materialistic life. Okay, so whenever moon is going from full moon to new moon, you would be pulled more towards the materialistic life. Your perception would be towards the materialistic life. But when the moon is going from lower phase to higher phase, your perception should be getting higher or enriched higher to the spiritual life. Okay, so you are increasing the essence of spirituality and you are decreasing the essence of spirituality. You are again increasing the essence of materialism and decreasing the essence of materialism. So in this cycle, your soul is going to trapped by moon. Okay, that's why it is said that moon is something that is trapping your soul away. Okay, so you are trapped on this earth because of the moon. Moon has trapped your soul. Okay, because your perception is going here and here and here and here. Okay, that's why it is hardly said that people who are born on new moon, okay, they get mukti from the hands of Kali. Okay, because it's easy for the people with new moon to be on one particular perception. It is easy for the people born in the full moon to be on a one particular perception. All other people are going like this and like this. Okay. So what is happening over here is, see, the sun is the soul. Okay, sun is the soul, the significator of spirituality, your Atma. Okay, it is what is having the clear and knowledge, all the knowledge. Okay, so this soul is giving light to the sun. Okay, sorry, the sun is giving the light to the moon. Okay, now this moon is reflecting the light to the earth. Okay, consider I am the earth. Okay, this is the moon and this is the sun. So sun, the soul, gives light to the moon. The moon reflects the light to the sun, earth. Okay, so in the eyes of earth, this moon is the shadow light of sun. The real essence of your soul is the sun. Sun is your soul, your Atma. But the shadow of your soul is the moon. Okay, in terms of earth. Because everybody knows that moon gives the reflected light of the sun. So what does that reflected light become? The reflected light becomes the shadow of the sun. So moon is the shadow of the sun. Getting my point? So if you want to know the shadow side of somebody, okay, the inner side of someone, you have to see the moon of that person. And that is why moon is also the significator of emotions. Okay, emotional arousals, okay, sometimes lust, okay, that internal emotional needs, that emotional swings. Okay, the higher the moon, the person will have higher the swings and higher the emotional trait. Also, we will consider zodiacs in that, because some zodiacs are more earthly signs, so they would control the moon. Some zodiacs are more watery signs, so moon is going to give a very ill effect. The person is going to be very much moody. Okay, so consider that way. Moon is the shadow of your soul, that is the shadow of sun. So if you want to understand any person, the internal person, okay, what the person really is when nobody is around them, you have to understand the moon of the person. Okay, Okay, that is why moon is also considered the mindset or the mind of the person. Okay, not mindset but mind of the person. Okay, moon is also the indicator of psychology of the person. Okay, the water balance inside the body. Okay, so first let's talk about the psychology of the person and mind, because see, your Atma is the soul, but how would you understand your Atma? How would you understand your Atma? You need a mind. You need a bloody mind to understand your Atma. મગજ વિના તમે ગમે વસ્તુનું perception કેમ કરશો? નો થાય ને. So a soul needs moon to understand itself. Okay, the soul needs moon to understand itself. Okay. So moon is the significator of the mind. How does mind comprehend the soul? That is why people are different and having different perceptions, personality, needs, wants, desire, everything else. Because moon is different, sun is the same. Everybody is getting the same energy, the same soul from the sun. Okay, but just because the moon is different, they are perceiving the Atma differently. Atma is the same, Atma is sun. The moon is the shadow of the Atma, and moon is also your mind. So your mind is the shadow of your soul. So what does mind do? Mind is trying to comprehend your Atma. Mind is trying to comprehend, do what you want in life, what do you need in life, what do you do in life, what is the creativity, what is the passion, okay, how your mindset will work. So everything, this is the small perception of the greater soul or greater Atma inside you. So the understanding of the Atma is given by your moon. So we can say Atma is the potential, sun is the potential of the person, but moon is the performance of the person. Okay, so the position of sun is showing that what is the potential of the person, but the position of moon is showing that what is the performance of the person. Okay, potential બહુ બધું હોય લોકોમાં, ઘણામાં potential બહુ હોય પણ performance જરાય ન હોય. ઘણામાં performance બહુ હોય પણ potential જ ન હોય. Okay, so this is something else that moon signifies. Coming to next thing, this is why moon is also significator of your emotions, because your mind is going to control your emotions. How you think will decide in what intensity you would feel. I won't say that how you think is what you feel. No, it's not like that. But how you think decides in what intensity you are going to feel things. તમે શું વિચારો છો એનાથી ખબર પડે કે તમે કેટલી ઇન્ટેન્સિટી કે કેટલી ઉર્જાથી તમે એક વસ્તુને ફીલ કરી શકો છો લાઈફ. ઓકે, so your emotions are again the hormonal balance of your body, and moon also controls the hormonal balance of your body and the water balance of the body. That is why when the moon phases change, the sea level and the ocean level change. Okay, ભરતીની ઓટ આવે ને, that we say in English we say high tide and low tide. Okay, so in moon phases there is high tide and low tide. Similarly, if you see the menstrual cycle of women, it is also governed by moon. Okay, 1 month cycle. Okay, there is high tide, the body is removing all the waste in form of blood outside, and in low tide all the waste is getting accumulated inside, and the woman is in the pulling stage. In the high tide again they are into the periods, okay, or menstrual cycles. And why do they affect more women and not male? Because see, moon is a feminine planet, so the effects of moon is going to be more on feminine people, and masculine people are earth element people. Okay, they are firm, so they are not going to have that much effect of moon. The effect of moon is going to be more on feminine people, or those people who are having more feminine planets in stronger. Okay. So moon is also the significator of your emotions, your emotional swings in women, your menstrual cycle. Okay. The water balance of the body, that is very much important, because if you are having an unstable moon, you always have to control your water intake. Okay. Water intake and water outlet. You have to drink more water, drink water at continuous interval. Okay. Keep reminders. So all these things are denoted by moon. So this was the story of moon. Moon before marriage, moon marrying 27 nakshatras, moon being biased, moon getting curse, moon getting relief, moon again getting curses. Okay. So moon is quite controversial sometimes, but moon is quite a moody person. Again, in Amrit Manthan, I said in the first video that moon and sun, they spoke that Swarna Bhanu ate Amrit, and he is a Rakshas, and Mohini killed him from the Sudarshan Chakra, from the neck. Okay, I said in the first video. Those who don't know, please check out the first video, the video of the sun. So in that also, Rahu and Ketu, the two parts of Swarna Bhanu, they are now roaming after sun and moon to catch him and eat him. Okay. So what is happening? There is also, eclipse. Eclipse is coming on sun and moon. Rahu is eating the sun, Ketu is eating the moon. Okay. So Rahu and Ketu is also denoted as the north and south node of the moon. Okay. And if you see clearly the south node of moon, even astrophysically, you can only see one side of the moon. You can't see the another side of the moon. Okay. You would see the front side of the moon, but the behind side of the moon is always in darkness. You can't see the behind side of the moon from the earth. Okay. So a person in materialistic life or materialistic pleasure, okay, can only see the one side of the moon. Only when you go into the spiritual or higher plane, you can see the other side of the moon. Okay. So if you see moon, if you see the mutual aspects of moon and Ketu, okay, moon also says the hidden or the dark side of a person. If you see it in relation to the Ketu or the south node. Okay. So if the moon and Ketu are very far away or very together, the person is going to have a different dark side in his life. Okay. So they are going to have two different personalities, one for outer people, one for him inside. Okay. If they are not in mutual aspect, there is some neutrality, then there are few cases in which the outside and inside personality is the same. Otherwise, see, the south side is always hidden. So what does it say? It says that there is always a hidden side of a person. Okay, a hidden side of the person that nobody will know. And that hidden side is known from the moon and the Ketu of the person. Studying the moon and the Ketu of the person. And considering from the moon chart. Okay, keeping the moon in the center. And then understanding the moon chart. It will show the hidden personality or the dark side of the person. Okay. If you study the moon chart clearly, you will know the dark side of everyone. Okay. So moon and Ketu also shows the dark side of the person. Because moon is the significator of the mind. If you study the moon chart very well, you would know how exactly the person is thinking. Each and everything. You would know how the person is going to act and react to everything. Okay, the strength and weaknesses. Okay. It is shown by the moon chart. Keeping the moon in the center. So this was moon. And talking about any another Purans. See, if you see moon is depicted riding a deer. What is the specialty of deer? Deer is a spontaneous animal. Very spontaneous. It is running there. Okay. and it is also the significator of intuition. Deer has the best intuition. Okay, and also in Ramayana, see every problem, બધી problem હરણથી ચાલુ થઈ હતી રામાયણ. હરણને મારવા ગયા એમાં સીતાનું અપહરણ થયું. Even in Shivpura, deer got burned because of the heat of Rudra. Okay, so every problem started with intuition. Or it is also another perspective to see this, that before every problem arises, there comes intuition. Okay, the two sides of the coin. Every problem starts with the intuition, or before any problem comes, there comes intuition. Okay, so the moon god is seen riding a deer, which means it signifies the spontaneity and intuition of Lord Chandra. Okay, Chandra was a very intuitive person. Okay, so it also governs the intuitive nature of the person, the moon. Okay, next, if you see, moon is having a bell in his hand, which signifies peace, shanti. Okay, because an unstable person can never control his or her mind. Okay, so an unstable person cannot control moon. સ્થિર પાણી હોય ને પોન્ડમાં એની અંદર જ મૂનની ઇમેજ દેખાય. You can only see the image of moon in a water which is still. In ocean water where waves are coming and going, you cannot see moon as a image. You can only see the water image of moon on pond water because it is still. શાંત મગજવાળા ચંદ્રને કાબુ કરી શકે. ગરમ, ઉત્તેજિત, hyper and overly sensitive emotional person cannot control the moon. If you want to control the moon, first control these four characteristics, that is Mars, anger. Okay, then Venus, overly emotional self, then Jupiter, which is hunger of curiosity, and last Saturn, that is reaction, because Saturn denotes karma. Your karma is your reaction. If you hold on before giving reactions, you are never going to do bad karmas. You do bad karmas only when you don't think before giving reaction. Okay, so when you control these four things in your life, only then you can control the moon. If you try to control moon first, you would be tested by these four things, and if you lose by any of these things, moon is going to punish it. Okay, the moon lord is going to punish. And what is the punishment of moon lord? Mental problem, because moon is mind. See, if you don't control your curiosity, you would have sleepless night, overthinking, everything like that. So moon punished you with overthinking. If you don't control your reactions, moon is going to punish you with physical harms. Okay, if you don't, what do you say, control your emotions, moon is going to give you depression. Okay, so similarly, moon needs you to become firm first. Until unless you are firm, don't try to capture moon. Okay, you think moon is the nearest to the earth and we can easily capture moon and do remedies of moon. No, you have to do the remedies of two planets before and after earth in order to capture and understand moon. By capture I mean taking a hold of moon. Okay, so this was moon talking about medical astrology. Moon signifies your ADHD balance. Okay, what is ADHD balance? It is the movement of water from your head to your kidneys and your kidneys to your head. ADHD. It is also the significator of psychoactive diseases, multiple personality disorders, and your internal personality. It is also the significator of the lymphatic system, the fluid level of the body, and what you say, water level of the body. There was also one thing, apart from lymphatic system, it also governs the water level inside the blood, the plasma. It also governs plasma. So, if you are having all such diseases or problems, you need to remedify the moon. Or if the moon is not in a good place, you are going to have all these problems in your life. Okay. So this was the story of Moon Lord and what is the signification of moon in astrology. If we go continue in the stories of moon, and I would take another 1 hour, 2 hour, and we are not over here just to talk about moon. Okay, so this was the basic story of the Moon Lord and what does moon signify. Okay, so first thing, it signifies your creativity, your outlook, your personality, your beauty. Okay, then how do you cherish things, then how do you see things, તમારી નજર કેવી છે, સારી છે, ખરાબ છે, that is your perception. Okay, next, in materialistic world, it also governs your lust, it governs your emotions, it governs your curiosity, it governs your moodiness. Okay, then in your marriage life, it governs your biasness, extramarital affairs, and it also governs whether you are loyal or not loyal to yourself. And I'm not just saying marriages. Moon also governs what you say, your past life karmas, because he got a punishment, so he is in the phase. So moon also governs your past life karmas. So that is why in our astrology we consider moon sign as our main sign, because we are here to cover up our karmas. Next thing moon signifies is your mind, your mental balance, your hormonal balance, the balance of water in your body. Moon also governs your feminine nature, till what extent you are feminine. Okay. Then moon also governs your, what you say, your ability to control yourself. And in some cases, moon also governs your destiny. Okay. So this was it. If we keep talking about the moon, I think we are not going to stop till 4 to 5 hours. But it's 1 hour and I have to end this video. So in the next video, we are going to come with Buddh, or the planet Mercury, the story of Mercury Lord. This was the story of Lord Moon, and I would be happy consulting all your kundlis and chart, and everyone who are having any problems, please come into the comment section. Anyone who wants like their kundli analysis or astrological advices, medical astrological advices, counseling, any type of it, please come in the comment zone, and please wait for the next video. Thank you for joining me to the story of Moon. Thank you very much.